This is the way the God comes to you, promising struggle, promising pain. The God comes at the death of the year. He comes at the darkest hour of the night. He comes when you are tired, tired to your bones, when life has scooped you hollow and ground you down, when you have nothing left. And the God says, river mouth is the beginning of journeys. Open your mouth, speak and begin. And you ask the God, what kind of journey begins at the river mouth? And the God answers, it is my kind of journey. It is the way of struggle. No gentle current will carry you forward to the broad embrace of the great gray sea. You will be lost among the reeds and mire of the estuary. You will fight your way up the river, rowing till your arms ache, till you sweat and the breath tears your throat. There will be choices along your path, which tributary to follow. And you will have no guidance, no signs. Your way will grow steeper and rockier. At last your boat will scrape the bottom of a thin, cold mountain stream. You will get out and climb. You will climb even though every part of you aches. You will climb until the stream narrows to a rivulet, the rivulet to a trickle, and you follow the ice-cold flow until you stand before the great white glacier, and there you cup your hands and drink. The beginning of this journey is the river mouth. The end is the source. The beginning is the end is the beginning. And this is my story, and this is how it begins, at the end. Once there was a woman who walked alone through the world. Lifetime after lifetime she walked among the people, speaking to them, listening to them, accepting their tribute. When our grandmothers were young girls, she was already old. When our great-grandfathers called upon the gods in groves of birch and ash, she was already old. When our great-great-grandmothers painted caves in ochre and lampblack and fat, she was already old. And when the God came to this woman, she was tired, worn down, scooped hollow by lifetime after lifetime. And the God said to her, "Speak to me. Begin the journey." And the old woman laughed. She said, "My journey is done. You'll have to do better than that." The old woman looked at the God. She saw the rain dripping from his hat and beard, the mud caked on the hem of his cloak, the question in his blue eye, and she took pity on him. "Very well," she said. "I will speak to you. I will tell you what you have come here to learn, but I have a price. You knew me when I was young. Yes, you did, even if you don't remember. What did I love then? What did I crave? That is my price. Remember who I was. The god thought for a moment. He looked into the woman's eyes. And then he said, yes, I remember. When you were young, you were mad for gold. Bright as gold we called you. And oh, how you dazzled us. I would know you in any world, bright one. I would know you under any sky. And the old woman smiled, and she opened her mouth, and she told the god a story. Bright one, shining one, the holy folk of Midgard call me bright as gold when I come to their houses. They know me, yes, they know me, wise in magic, wide-seeing, cunning in prophecy. Bright one they call me, and wicked they call me too, and witch they call me. And yet they listen. And you, Open Corpse Father, I think you know me well. God of frenzy, Father of hosts, you came to me and summoned me. War God, Rune God, you offered me bright gold, arm rings and necklaces to learn my magic. Wider and wider through all the worlds I see. Alone I sat outside when you came to me, old man. You looked into my eyes. Oh, Father, you have called me forth. What do you seek from me? What would you know? Would you test me? Would you have me prove myself? Hell-blind God, I know where you hid your eye, drowned it deep in the well of Mimir. Mimir drinks mead every morning from the hanged god's pledge. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? I know where Heimdallr hid his hearing under the sacred world tree, whose branches reach to heaven. I see a river pouring forth in a muddy waterfall from the eye you pledged. Would you know more? Then let the holy folk of Midgard keep silence. All the children of Heimdallr, high and low. At your command, All-Father, I will tell the ancient stories, sing the old songs I remember from so long ago. I remember the giants, the hungry ones born in the time before time. They fed me and welcomed me long ago. 9 worlds I know, 9 roots of the tree, the sacred world tree, the reckoning tree, down below the earth. It was the beginning of time. It was the time of Ymir, the first being. There was no sand nor sea, no wave upon shore, no earth, no sky, only the grinning, gaping void. Then the sons of Bor, the firstborn, raised up the earth. It was they who shaped Midgard from Ymir's flesh. The sun shone from the south on the stones of their hall, and over the rocky earth the green plants crept and spread. In the south, the sun, stretched awake, flung her right arm round the rim of heaven. The sun did not know yet where her home was. Moon did not know his might. The stars did not know their places in the sky. Then the high holy gods met in council upon the thrones of fate. To night and her children they gave names. Morning they called them, and midday, afternoon and evening, midwinter, midsummer, to reckon up the years. The high holy ones, the Cascadian, met and idled the sunlit plain. They raised high timbered shrines and temples. They built smithies, forged tools, crafted treasures. Then, from the company of gods, 3 set forth for Midgard. On the shore they found Asker and Embla, Ash and Elm, faint and feeble, their fate unformed. They had no breath, no spirit, no blood, no features. Odin gave them breath, and Heimir spirit. Loder gave them blood and human faces. The high holy ones played at war games in the meadow. They rejoiced in golden treasure. Then came 3 Thor's maidens, fierce in might. From Jotunheimer they came, from the home of the hungry ones, to spin the web of weird, to cast the fates of gods and men. I know an ash tree called Yggdrasil, a high tree washed with white clay. Dew drops from its branches on the valleys below. Evergreen it stands above the well of weird. The 3 wise and powerful maidens live there, 3 from the well beneath the tree. Ord, one is called, another Verdandi, the 3rd is called Skuld. They carve men's fates, they lay down laws for all beings in the 9 worlds. They choose how each should live, how each should die. I remember the first war in the world, when Gullveig was struck with spears and burned in the hall of the High One. 3 times they burned her, 3 times she was born again. Over and over they killed her, and yet she lives. Gullveig went out into the world and walked among men, and they called her wicked, and they called her bright one, they called her bright as gold, and they called her witch. Gullveig's people, the Vanir gods, rose up against the Aesir, demanding weregild for their thrice-burned kin. In answer, Odin cast his spear, hurled it over the host, and so began the war, the first in the world. Asgard's shield wall was shattered. The mighty Vanir, powerful in war magic, trampled over the field of battle. The Aesir met in council upon the thrones of fate. They considered if they should yield the tribute or share the sacrifices of men with the Vanir. The peace came too late. Already the air boiled with betrayal. A world without war would never again be known. I saw the Valkyries galloping from far away, bearing their shields and grinning with battle lust, ready to ride over the entire earth. I saw the ravens circling, heard them croaking hoarse and loud, eager to feast upon corpses, now that war had been born to the world. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? I saw Thor Balder, the blood-stained god, Odin's child, his hidden fate. I saw it growing, high among the trees, slender and green, the mistletoe. From that little plant was fashioned an arrow of sorrow. A bow was placed inside his Balder's hand. Balder's blind brother shot, and the shining god fell. But another brother soon was born. He too was your son, Odin, and he took vengeance, learned to kill at one night old. He did not wash his hands nor comb his hair till his brother's slayer burned on the balefire. But Frigga wept in Fensalir, and no fire could burn away her grief. I see a prisoner bound in the cauldron grove, Loki himself, with his own son's entrails. The gods bound him to suffer torture without end for his part in Balder's death. There by him sits Sigyn, sad beside her husband. But no punishment will return Frigg's child to her. Is this what you ask for, Odin? Would you know more? From the east there flows the poisoned valleys, filled with swords and knives. The river called Slith, the fearful one. Northward, among the dark lowlands, the soil smokes. I see a hall, far from the sun, on the shore of the dead, and its doors face north. Venom drips through the smoke hole down. The walls are woven through with serpents. I see oath breakers wading there through the thick streams, and murderers and violators of women. There the worm Nidhogger sucks the blood of corpses, and Fenris Wolf tears their flesh. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? In the east lives the Old One, in Ironwood. Births there the brood of Fenris, monstrous wolves. One of them will soon swallow the sun. Fenris Wolf feeds on the flesh of dead men. The home of the gods turns red with blood. The sun grows dim, the summer sky black. Storms mass upon Midgard, carrying woe and want. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? On a grave mound, playing his harp, sits the waiting watchman of the hungry ones. Above him crows from the gallows tree the bright red rooster called Fjalar. Then to the gods crows another, called Golinkambi, that wakes the warriors in Valhall. Yet one more crows beneath the earth, a soot-red cock in the halls of hell. The wolf howls loud before the gaping cave. The fetter breaks and Fenris runs, ravening. Much do I know, and more can I see of Ragnarok, of the final doom of the victory gods. Brother will slaughter brother, kinsmen will betray their bonds. All the world turn hard and cruel. Axe age, sword age, shield will shatter, wind age, wolf age. Before the world crumbles, there will be no man left with mercy in his heart. Every spear stained red with neighbor's blood. The waters rage. The very world tree is aflame. Yonder horn sounds a warning blast. Heimdallr blows loud, his horn held high. And on Hell's road, all the holy folk tremble in fear. Yggdrasil shivers. The ancient tree groans. The hungry ones are loose. The wolf breaks free. The Midgard serpent writhes in rage, churning the ocean. The eagle screams. Pale-beaked tears the dead. The ship Naglfar, clad in dead men's nails, sets sail from the east. Loki steers it, and with him come the Doombringers, children of monsters, all the ravenous troops of hell. Crags topple, warriors tread the hell road, the sky splits apart. And where are the gods? And where are the elves? The dwarves mutter before their stone doorways, lords of the rocky cliffs. Once more, Odin speaks with Mimir's head before the wolf comes to devour him. The wolf howls loud before the gaping cave. The fetter breaks and Fenris runs ravening. Much do I know, and more can I see of Ragnarok, of the final doom of the victory gods. Sun turns black. Now comes Frigga's second sorrow, when Odin goes to fight the wolf, and Freyr to do battle with the Jotun-Surt. There Frigg's beloved must fall. Then comes the great son of Odin, Vidar, to fight the slaughtering wolf. With his hand he plunges his sword through the heart of the beast. Now his father is avenged. Then comes Thor, Earth's son, Odin's son, to slay the Midgard serpent. The serpent gapes and screams when Thor strikes in his rage. But there will be no one left to defend the holy folk of the earth. When Thor falls, staggers back 9 steps, slain by the venomous, world-circling serpent. The wolf howls loud before the gaping cave. The fetter breaks and Fenris runs ravening. Much do I know, and more can I see of Ragnarok, of the final doom of the victory gods. Sun turns black. The earth sinks into the sea. From the sky the stars fall burning. The sea steams and smokes. Flames feed upon the world tree. Fire scorches the firmament itself. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? Waterfalls flow forth. An eagle flies above them, over the mountains, hunting fish along the fell. The Aesir will gather together and fight one another at Kalevala, among the ruined shrines and the bones of the great world serpent. And O Father. They will find again in the grass golden game pieces which once they played with in a different time. Unsown, fields will bear harvest. All harm will be healed. Baldur will return, together with Kolur, his brother and slayer. Then Heine will cast the runes, and the orphans of the Æsir will rebuild the ruined halls of Asgard, raise shrines to the slaughter gods. Is this what you ask of me, Odin? Would you know more? I see a hall standing there, brighter than sunlight, thatched in red gold at Gimle Mountain. The wise and the strong shall dwell there in joy. Then comes flying the dragon Nidhogger, the glittering serpent down from the dark hills. He flies over the plain, on his wings he bears corpses. Once more, before he passes by, his shadow falls over the golden feast hall. Behind him wafts the stench of death. It fades, it passes, until such time as he comes again. Now, all Father, you have had your will of me. At your command, I have told the ancient stories, sung the old songs, told you what I know of the beginning and of the end and of the beginning. Victory, Father. May this story bring you joy. Corpse, Father, may this story bring you pain. All Father, may this story bring you wisdom. From the world of gods and Jotuns and elves and dwarves, that world that is and is not our world. And we come here, to where we stand, as we always do, poised in the moment of the coming between past and future, on this day of celebration as the solstice approaches. The sun stands. The sun stands at the height of the sky. It stands at the apex of the bowl of heaven, forged by the great smith at the beginning of time, hammered out by the great smith when the world was new, when the land knitted itself together out of chaos and the seas filled with the blood of creation. The sun rises. It rises to the brow of the skull of the primordial giant. It rises to the hollow crown of the Old One. Across times, across places, the world stands still as the sun rises on this longest day. In a stone circle, the people who have gathered there from the scattered settlements fall silent, one by one, as the eastern sky slowly pales and the clouds blush and the first rays slice above the dark hills. As human sound sounds fade to silence. The birds find their voices. And a multifarious fluting sings the bright orb up over the horizon, crowning the hailstones. Far away, an old person is gathering herbs in the dawn, this sacred morning. The 77 lucky herbs to make medicines for all diseases, even for the nameless disease. Their steps are slow and reverent as they walk alone where the forest meets the meadow. Each movement of feet and hands and sickle a prayer as the first rays of the winking sun turn the morning mist into a luminous, billowing blanket. And the sun reaches up over the trees, and the sleeping world is suddenly flooded in light. The sun climbs. Young women cast blossoms into the moving streams and read their auguries as they follow the racing waters, forever rushing on into the future. From the houses nearby come the smells of fruit and flowers, and the warm aroma of round yellow loaves, almost ready for the festival tables. The sun moves, carried in its golden chariot, drawn by golden horses. It wheels its way across the great plain of the firmament as the day turns languidly, exultantly toward evening. And so the longest day stretches itself out across the hemisphere, lazily, as if it could have no end, until at last it wanes down gently, so slowly, toward this shortest, sweetest night. And everywhere, young lovers turn to one another, in blue dusk and firelight, and outside the villages, just beyond the boundary between the known and the unknown, bonfires spring up lustily, crackling and spitting, and the old folks reach out their hands to the warmth. Children, up past bedtime, run, shrieking like wild animals, and music pours out from under the dark trees, and everything burns, pulses, glows, filled to bursting with sun and scent, ripe with sweetness like a summer fruit, warm with the heat of the sun, the blazing, glorious, unconquerable sun. And so do we, each one of us, burn and glow and rise and set, and light our own fires, and join with our loved ones, and make our own ways across the span of our lives, until we too go down into night. May we burn today. In the face of all sorrows, may we rise, golden and shining. In the height of our power, may we stand strong together. as we process to this area where we will plant a birch tree and have the opportunity to make silent odes. Please join us if you feel moved. Thank you.
Hail the Spirit! That was amazing.